Overstock.com Senior Vice President Stormy Simon was named a 2009 one-to-one customer champion because of her deep commitment to the customer perspective. Here she and Overstock CEO Patrick Byrne discuss their challenges and customer philosophies with me, Liz Glagowski.
Patrick, I guess you can go first. What's the best thing a customer ever said to you?
I was once walking along an airport tarmac in Miami Beach, and an aircraft mechanic was walking along next to me, and we got talking, and he said, "What is it you do?" And I said, "Well, I started a company called Overstock." And he just stopped in his tracks, and he was an older gentleman, and he sort of was overcome, and then he grabbed my hand, and he said, "Do you know how many people's lives your company makes better? Do you know how many people have made this part of their family that they do their shopping with you? How many?" So it was really the nicest thing I ever heard. Stormy?
The best thing a customer's ever said to me, it evolves every day. We have what we call agent kudos that I see every time a customer writes in and congratulates us on great customer service. And, just in the past week, a customer wrote in and said, "I just wanted to let you know it's because of your agents that I'll continue to do business with you. I had a problem with an order, and the way you guys resolved it ensured that I'll be a lifetime customer. And I'll tell my friends and family." So the kind of things I hear are really the things that are said about the agents.
Patrick, what is your current hot button issue? What's the thing that keeps you up at night?
My current hot button issue is this is going to be a race to see who can strip the most costs out of their supply chain. At the end of the day, by stripping the most costs out is what's going to let you drop the prices the furthest. So I'm just always thinking about how do we strip more and more costs out of the system that we can then pass on the savings to our consumer. And if we can always stay in that mode better than anybody else and get further and further ahead of them, that becomes a moat that protects our business. But so that's really what I get obsessed with, is how do we strip costs out so we can pass on deeper savings.
Okay. And Stormy, what is your current hot button issue? What keeps you up at night?
Well, for me, it's all customer-facing, allowing the right prices to our customers. But right now, it's our return process. I want to ensure that when a customer returns a product, whether that be a DVD or a desk, that we provide them with an easy, inexpensive, and efficient process that takes the stress off of them.
Okay. So, Patrick, then, what one thing has made the biggest impact on your approach to customer strategy within the past year?
It's clearly been the economy. The economy is just changing so many consumers' behaviors that you've got to stay ahead of that. In terms of analyzing and understanding that behavior. So you've got middle class people downshifting. You've got a wealthy cohort whose normal average order size when they come was $350, and now they're spending $180 on an average purchase. Just everybody is radically changing their shopping patterns, and you got to stay ahead of that in the analysis. Stormy?
And to tack on to what Patrick says, I think keep the entire company informed of the change in the consumer behavior. So from Patrick's seat as CEO down to the agents, just understanding that our customers' lives are changing and adapting and serving them to accommodate that.
Patrick, what was the biggest roadblock you overcame in getting colleagues to embrace customer centricity, and how did you overcome it?
Well, the biggest roadblock was I'd say to begin with, we were a product-focused company. We were finding the best deals and then pushing them out. Then for a period, we had to go through really being IT-focused. But at some point, once we had sort of switched from homegrown rinky-dink systems to enterprise-class systems, it became breaking the focus from, okay, what's the next box to buy, to, okay, how do we use the boxes that we've bought to accomplish making ourselves customer-centric, to find where the real values are and so forth. So that was really the last stage in getting to customer centricity, and how we overcame it was, as I said earlier, we took, there's always a conversation going on where you're balancing different things, and some people tend to balance technology in front of customers, some balance employees in front of customers, some, there's all kinds of balances being struck. But there's some people who by natural inclination are always going to be speaking from the customer's point of view. So taking one of those people, and in this case putting her over customer service, and then saying that customer service really is the top department in the company, it speaks, and the rest of the people bend to its will, is what made us customer centric. But you also have to find somebody with the right orientation and the right backbone, and that's what we're lucky to have in Stormy.
And I would say that another roadblock we had, but we definitely overcame it, and I think it's been a couple of years, but was many organizations will say customer service or the call center is a place to cut costs, and they can always shave a couple seconds off that phone call or use a different technology or cut a couple agents and make a customer wait longer. Overstock doesn't feel that way. We acknowledge the costs that we put into customer center as an investment, the customer care agents and the call center as an investment. So once we all adopted that there was a cost to providing good customer service, I think it made a big difference.
Yeah, I'd echo that. We have our cost of providing customer services, let's say, for the sake of argument, it's a little bit over 100 basis points, a little bit over 1%. We know we could get that down to, 80 basis points or 70 basis points, but we don't time our agents. I mean, we time them, and if we see real outliers, we'll probably look into it, and if somebody's being lackadaisical, we'll correct it. But in general, we're never pushing we don't try to give them the sense that they have to be getting calls down to 4 minutes or something like that. We want them engaging and spending whatever time's appropriate to make the customer satisfied.
For both of you, who inspires you and why?
Who inspires me and why? Well, actually, I got to say that Stormy is an inspirational character.
Why? I'm anxious to hear.
Who inspires you? You can't say me because I already took that.
Yeah, but many logical people would actually say Patrick Byrne, and I can give you the why. First of all, he inspires our organization. So we have hundreds of employees that they tick because they believe in Patrick's vision, and not just the retail vision, but also his worldly vision, which includes, our economic meltdown, making sure that third world countries have jobs, which we do with Overstock. And, he goes out on his own and builds schools all over the world. He names them after his mom. Our training center is named after Patrick's mom here in the building. And he gives us all a platform to further our education while we're at work at Overstock through O University. And he's overcome so many issues, whether that be health-wise or dollar-wise. There's just a lot. And to see him lead this organization the way he does, and then to be chosen as an executive here and ride that coattail is absolutely inspirational. And, politically also, just his fight with education, all of those things. I mean, he's an inspiration to hundreds here.
Wow, well, the mutual respect is excellent. It's really great to see. Well, just a question that we're just asking everyone, just to be a little more personal, is what, if any, was your favorite business book from the last year?
Well, the book that I would have read in the last year that was my favorite business book. It came out some years ago, and it was Good to Great. But I read it last year. Actually, I read it again last year. So I would go with Good to Great, Jim Collins.
Great.
And for me, part of joining Overstock, you get this long list of books that you should read. And this is I think I'm going on my 8th year here. And last year, just to be quite honest, I actually took a break from business books. And so my favorite business book of 2008 was actually not reading one.
Excellent.
To learn more about relationship strategy, visit www.one-to-one-media.com.